Hey guys, Alex with Hammond Watch. Wanted to share this little Seiko with you. It had come in this week and it caught me off guard a little bit. It's the SNK803. And the reason it caught me off guard, it's part of a 4-watch series. So there's a blue variant, a green, a black, and then this cream dial. And I had already owned the black as well as the green. And I had fun with them, but kind of moved along and fell out of love pretty much immediately. But getting this one in and opening it up and having a look, I think the cream dial looks just a bit sharper, especially when I switched it over to a black strap. It almost had this kind of German pilot feel to it. But wanted to get in, do some nice shots of it, run through the specs in case you guys are considering it or had ever been curious. Before we get into that, I'll do a quick wrist check. The trusty old SKX on a strap code, Super Jubilee bracelet. Love these things. It's a tank. I actually like the traditional rattly, crappy Seiko bracelet, but found a good deal on this one and wanted to try it out, and I really like it. But let's get in a little bit closer on this Seiko 5 and have a look. Being a Seiko 5, you're looking at more classic proportions with an 18mm lug width and a 37mm case. The watch does wear petite on wrist, but carries just enough presence, and I feel is kind of era correct for the aesthetic it's going for. The case has all this really nice satin finish. It's very consistent all the way throughout the watch with the unsigned crown. Favorite thing about this type of finishing, no smudges, no fingerprints. You don't have to worry about wiping it down every 3 seconds if you're one of those kind of OCD guys that the watch needs to look perfect. This way the case is going to look the exact same every time, and I feel it just fits the watch well. The exhibition case back is kind of a different story. I think they would have been better served just doing more of a sterile satin case back here and maybe given a little bit more water resistance. It's showing off a 7S26, not an overly impressive movement to look at. If you guys aren't familiar, it was launched in 1996. It's the same movement that's in the SKX I'm wearing. It's a 40-hour power reserve, a 21,600 beats per hour watch, so you're getting 6 ticks per second, giving you a really nice sweep. You're not getting any hand winding though. If you want it, if it dies and you need to get it going, your options are shake it up, wear it, or throw it on a winder for a little bit and then come back and adjust the time and go. When you do adjust the time, the seconds hand will not be stopping, as it is not a hacking movement. I know I've seen questions about upgrades to this movement, but there are upgrades to this movement. It's just essentially your 4R36 to my understanding. It's a Hardlex crystal, which means a little harder than your classic mineral, a heck of a lot softer than sapphire. This thing will get scratches in time, but at the price point, very acceptable. These watches new run around $80. I think I paid $50 for this one and had paid right around $50 for my previous two as well, so not something you're going to have a ton of money in. I love the handset. I think it's proportioned very well. As it goes around, it passes just through the numbers with both the hours and the minutes. You also get these LumaBrite lume plots representing each hour, and then them on each hand, and I always love the lollipop counterbalance on the seconds hand. Just adds a nice touch in low light situations, and I think that Seiko does the best job of any company kind of across the board when it comes to the lume for their watches and making sure that there's enough, and sometimes probably a little bit too much. But I want to do a wrist shot real quick. We'll turn out the lights and have a look at the lume and wrap this up. So here we are on my 7.5-inch wrist. As you can see, like I mentioned, it is a petite watch, but does not look ridiculous by any means. For me, this is probably the most comfortable sizing, that 36 to 39 millimeters. So I'm a big fan. I'm going to compare it real quick and put it up in a loom shot with the SKX and my turtle, so you can get an idea of how well it glows and what the legibility is going to be like for low light situations. Alright, so quick loom shot here. We're going to have it next to the Seiko turtle on the left, and then the classic SKX on the right. So you can see, just like all Seikos, it really holds its own. It's not going to last near as long as the SKX or the turtle, but it's not really meant to. That's not this watch's primary function. It has just enough so that you will be able to use it for a few hours in low light, and that's about it. But for the cost, thrilled with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, there's a subscribe button right here. Click it. You can also hit your bell icon and you'll get some notifications whenever I'm putting out new content, which is at least weekly. Take a look at some of the other videos. I'll have some linked off to the side. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or requests, stuff you want to see. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.